And if you're going to save those to come, then you must have the original prototype of humanity, right? Intact. You can't let them all die from poverty and cholera and hangings and lynchings. You follow what I'm saying? You can't let that happen. The most original prototype and genetic superior physical being is suffering the most today on the planet. You can't even call yourself a humanitarian. You follow what I'm saying? You can't. If the original prototype of a human being is suffering. Because you don't have to be a humanitarian if the fate of humanity is coming to an end. Because it's not built to survive anymore. Because the most survivalistic part of itself was oppressed. We say we animal rights activists and we want to save the tropical rainforests, right? You better save the original type of human, though. Or you ain't got to worry about seeing another tropical rainforest thousands of years from now. That's a reality. But back to my father. I saw myself, I took on his whole mentality. And it was perfect. Because he raised one, you follow what I'm saying, that would stand for the original people of the earth. He raised one that would stand for that. Not get lost in my lesser suffering. Because we do that as human beings. Somebody's in pain, I'm not suffering as much as them. At least I don't got to go through that. Get in my car. Because they're different degrees. Even based upon shades of suffering, right? So I'm glad we don't live in Africa. Shit, I'm glad we ain't no Africans. Because man, they going through shit over there. Just be happy that we going through this degree. Over here. That's human to do that. We find the privilege in our own suffering through relativity versus having compassion for those that suffer more than us. So we pimp our situation materialistically, add up our privileges, and just keep looking back. You follow what I'm saying? Not looking back at all. I'm saying something here. We are not fighting for ourselves. We're the minority. We are fighting for the original majority of our people. That's what we stand for. We stand for those, to call ourselves humanitarians, we must stand for those that are suffering the most. That's a fact. We have to help those that need it. And when you can help the worst, it's even easier to help those in a lesser condition. You got to get to the worst first. Who's being treated the worst? Who's being done the worst today? They say, okay, well, there's people dying all over the world. Let's look at Libya and this and that. And that. You talking about small pockets of starvation in Europe, in Russia. What is the massive hunger of the planet? Who's most hungry on this damn planet? Who? Some Russian? Some little tribe from Turkey? Who's starving on the planet? So if you want to help, who do you help worst, the most? Those that are suffering the most. That's the black man. The melanated black man is suffering the most on the planet today. That's a fact. The most. And our suffering is a byproduct. You know what I'm saying? It trickles down. But the more it trickles down, the less it is. Sometimes we watch those documentaries on what's going on in African countries and other countries, and we say, oh, that's just a commercial. Those children are not sitting there hungry. That's just TV. They are. How many light-skinned children you see that are hungry? Huh? How many of them light? How many of them look like Barack Obama over there starving? Not many of them. Our fight is for the melanated people. Anything less than that is selfishness. It's selfish. And people got to be called out. And the fight begins with reverence, which is value. If we don't value ourselves, why should we do something about it? If we don't reverence any black man, we don't reverence no black man. If we don't reverence any blackness, we don't reverence no blackness. Why should we do something about it? We have no reverence. We don't care. Reverence means you care greatly. They take down our black leaders because we don't reverence them. We don't care. Why are they not taking down their white leaders? Because they care. They have reverence. They go through all these Masonic lodges and take these oaths and be the Grand Master, Grand Imperial Wizard, Grand whatever, right? That's reverence. We think it's about degrees and keys and going through these rituals. All that ultimately ends up that we have great reverence. You will not get into any of their positions in the white man's system and government without going through the Grand Lodge, where there's a Grand Master. Am I correct? We cannot have a Grand Master in our community that is not backed by a white supremacist institution. Can we? No such thing. A nigga ain't shit. We must embody reverence for our own, living and human. And it needs to be taught, because when we say reverence, we don't mean fear. Some of our leaders have come along, the reverence is created out of fear. Our gang leaders, they're not really reverence, they're fear. And you only revere something if you fear something and you feel like it's something big enough to take it down. Then you're going to side with that which can take it down, because you want what you fear to come to an end, right? So that's why our gang leaders go down. That's why they go down. But if you look at Mandela, you see a whole nation of people that revered him. His prison was a mansion. They said Mandela was in prison for all these 30 years. It was a mansion. He wasn't imprisoned in, a cell. He was in a house with couches and a phone and sitting down with diplomats during his prison term. Reverence, right? They revered him. They didn't fear Mandela. We can't get reverence in Chicago, in America, unless we go kill a whole bunch of people. Now, okay. Now everybody's saying your name. That's on Chief whoever. That's on Chief whatever. Chief whatever. We got to kill people to get reverence. That's a shame, ain't it? You think the kings in Africa were revered because they were ruthless tyrants that killed their own people? Seriously. No. They were revered because they were willing to kill large amounts of their enemies for their people. Huh? Why was Hannibal revered? Because he killed his own people? Come on. Our kings in the past were revered because of how they stood against the enemy, not how they stood against themselves. So that fear leadership will not live for long. As soon as you find a way to escape your fears and find something a weapon against your fears, you're going to pick that weapon up at due time. And that's what happened with all the gang bangers in our community. As soon as our community find a big enough weapon to get them off, whether it be the white man or some other type of weapon, we get them off us. It's been going on since the 70s. You start people conspiring with the police and the government to get rid of these gang leaders because they feared them. They didn't revere them. Because if they revered them, they would have done everything in their power to make sure that they stayed in power. We don't see that. We see them turning the face. We see them calling the police. It's a reality. We must revere the living if we want living rulers and living leaders. Sometimes we think that if we study the great people of history, that we'll become great. If we study these great Kemetic pharaohs, that we'll become great. No, we won't. Because none of those pharaohs are going to walk around right now and do any great things for us. So then, Only can we become great when we can humble ourselves to the greatness that is living today before us. Am I right? I'm talking about how good as a Dr. Imhotep was. But my brother, you come and give me some herbs to heal me, and I don't even want them. I love Imhotep. Imhotep was a great herbalist. He healed everybody of everything. But there's no nigga that can heal me today. I'm going to the white doctor. Y'all see what I'm saying? But Imhotep can't come and heal you. Because he's what? He's not with us anymore. So if you're going to find the remedy and the antidote that you need today, you must find the living what? Healer today. If we want rulership today, we must revere the living ruler today. That's a fact. But we don't want it. We are satisfied with white supremacy and oppression. They have used Christianity to break down our leadership. Two of their biggest weapons is democracy and Christianity. Same thing. They go to the people who revered their king, who had sovereignty and had their own sovereign nation due to their reverence, and they said, you know what? Let me put Jesus Christ there and reverence him. And they'll tell you that a man ain't a thing. Don't trust a man. What does the Bible teach you about what man is? Somebody quote it to me. Something about a man ain't nothing. A man is born in sin. Exactly. Don't trust a man ain't nothing. Now imagine me being the king of Nigeria, and you come and bring the Bible and say, trust not in no man. Did you not just destroy the reverence that created the integrity of a nation? And then you put a white man with blue eyes there and say, live by this? And that man that has made this a sovereign nation and kept this as a sovereign nation for the last 400 years, forget him. The hell with him. He's sin. Look at all the people he killed to maintain sovereignty. Am I teaching? He's nothing. He's born in sin. Put Jesus Christ there as your Lord and Savior. Coincidentally, I look like him. So I got a good seat. Just coincidence. I mean, it just look like me. No, it doesn't mean anything. There's no respect. He loves everyone. Because I love everyone. And I'm like him. And we both love everyone. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Right. So now, look at that. I was king. Sitting on the throne. Reverence of the people. They give him that book. He's born in sin. He's born in sin. It says, thou shalt not steal. He stole our tanks that we came to invade your country with. He stole them from us. And ran over us with them. And then he killed. And then he's blasphemed this God right here. By saying he's some type of ruler. Only Jesus Christ is Lord and ruler. Do you hear what I'm saying? Jesus Christ is the sovereign. You just destroyed an African nation. Because what you revere will determine how things manifest themselves, how they form. If they revere Jesus Christ, what will it become? It will become a nation where they can be manipulated by what? White doctrine, white imperialism, and white philosophy. Reverence is very important. If we revere the Buddha. We revere Asian philosophy. The Chinaman comes in. And now we call him master. Am I correct? You calling the Asian our master now. We went from a white master to an Asian master. If a black man has survived living in the hood, he's more than an Asian master. Do you hear me? But we'll never go and bow to him. A Chinaman ain't never fought a day in his life, ain't even fought for immigration. He ain't ever fought nothing.